Okay, hi Cassie, how are you?
Good, thank you.
That's good. Cassie, you've got a little girl at school, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
And you've been a child at school,
Yeah, at some
of
point.
course. So I just wanted to ask you some questions. I'm doing an assignment on fair assessments where teachers ask children to take homework home as a project and they're assessed on those. And we're trying to work out if we think that's a fair thing for teachers to do. How do you feel personally about assignments that perhaps you had taken home and completed at home? Do you think that it's fair to judge a piece of work that a child takes home to complete?
Yes. Why would it be different at home than at school?
So you don't see any difference in support at home or
The idea of assignments is that if a child needs support, they will ask at some point.
Okay, so let me just ask you if Kayana brings something home from school, a project, she probably hasn't done a lot yet because she's only young, but if she brings something home that she has to do you offer any support?
Yeah, I do.
And how do you help her at all?
If she needs it in places, I will help.
Okay, so if I was Kayana's teacher and I had given my class an assignment or a project, build something out of, create something, build something, and Kayana came home and said she had to build something, and she said, Mummy, I'm going to build something, you would offer help?
Yeah, but this all depends on the project and what she's building it out of and what's expected of them.
Of course, yeah. So how
I
does...
wouldn't do the project for her if that's where you're going.
No, I'm not going there, but you would offer her support.
Yeah.
So thinking about Kayana's classroom, do you think all children would have equally supportive parents as
No,
you?
of course not.
So do you think it's fair that all children are asked to do something at home, considering the fact they might not have that support at home?
Well, I don't know. I think teachers should be able to judge through their results, and they should know their students well enough to realise who's getting the help and who isn't.
Okay. So looking back to your childhood, did your mother ever help you with any of your assignments?
No.
Honestly.
Yes, of course you did. Yeah.
So, can you remember specifically any midnight or 6 o'clock screams about
I
not?
midnights.
Yeah, and do you remember how much work actually mother did and actually child did?
I do,
Yeah.
yes.
So do you remember? I remember one in particular that you got an A for that said parent did probably 9/10 of it.
That's good teachers know that.
Yeah, good teachers should know that. So basically, you believe that assignments, it's okay for assignments to be given to a child to take home?
Assignments should be done at home, but they should be judged differently.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers should know their students and basically be able to tell who's getting the help and who needs the help, and you know.
So one other question, your brother had an assignment given to him recently in year 9, and it was to invent something. And do you remember how much it cost for him to buy the materials for that? No. His parents actually spent $100 and something on the product because it had to be a serious invention, and there was offered a $500 prize to the students for the one of the best invention.
Okay.
Which created very high interest and very big incentive for kids to design something worthwhile. Do you think this was a fair assessment?
That should be optional.
But do you think it was a fair assessment because they were all assessed on what they invented?
Well, it comes down to the teacher again. A genius can invent something with crap from around the house. You don't have to spend $150, but if that's the way they want to go, then...
So what you're saying basically is assessments are fine as long as the teacher is the...
It comes down to the teacher, and it's not just assessments, it's schoolwork overall.
Yeah.
Good teachers will do it well, and bad teachers won't.
Do you think teachers should set guidelines? Like they should say, specifically if they're asking to invent something, they should say, you must use only this product and this product, or present a receipt for the cost of the material to the maximum cost of this?
I don't know. See, I don't know how that went. Something along those lines probably would be better, but if it's like an open school thing, win money, it's like a competition, then of course people are going to go crazy.
Yeah.
If it's an actual school assessment that everybody has to do the same, then there probably should have been guidelines like that. I don't know.
Because one thing that I didn't factor into it was, like what you said, a very clever child can invent something out of absolute rubbish. And a good teacher would be able to recognise that child A spent a lot of money on their product and had a lot of help, whereas child B did it all by himself out of rubbish, out of a bin, and assess for that. But one thing that I've just realised, and perhaps I'd like your thoughts on, is in a school, particularly in a higher grades, there's a lot of peer ridicule.
Yeah, they would be.
Yeah, so if it's just an open assignment like that,
Mm.
how good is that in the way that if one child who comes from a very poor background makes something out of egg cartons and milk crates and comes and his peers have all invented things out of like robots and stuff, do you think that child would feel comfortable in bringing what is made out of a garbage bin to a school?
No, but that's set in place right from first grade when they're bringing in stuff for show and tell.
Mm.
You know, the cool kids are going to bring in cool things. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same all the way through school.
Yeah. So it's
Why would
just
assignments be any different?
in a perfect world, do you think really important assignments should be completed in the classroom where a child has equal access to exactly the
Yeah.
same support and material?
Yeah, it's a different environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Cassie.
That's okay.
Thank you.
It's my opinion.